Good morning everyone, welcome back to another episode. It's been a little while since we did post our last video and we apologise for that. We had some life things that we needed to deal with, like getting taxes done, the car needs a service, the van needs a service, so we came back to Brisbane to deal with that. We'll be in Brisbane for another 2 or 3 days now before we start heading out again. Luckily for you though, this episode it's going to be Rachel that you'll have to look at, so I'm sure everybody will enjoy that rather than my ugly mug. So I'll put you over to Rachel and she's going to take you through the van.
Hi everyone, I'm Rachel.
And I'm Cletus. Welcome to my 40-footer rope.
We decided life was too short to wait around until retirement, so we packed it all in and hit the road.
So come and join us as we go caravanning and exploring this wonderful land that is Australia.
Hi there everybody, welcome back to another episode. We've had a couple of requests from people asking us to show them our caravan setup. So we've gone from a 4-bedroom home into a 17.5-foot caravan. So we've had to minimise quite a number of things. And after 3.5 months on the road, I think we've streamlined pretty much everything that we use. I mean, it'll still be a work in progress, of course, but come on in and I'll show you. So first things first, our garbage bin. Since our caravan does not come with any storage areas for a garbage bin, so we've bought this one from Temu, so it's quite versatile. It's only quite small, but you got your stickers here, but you can also put it up here, which is where we had our original bin hanging anyway. So, and it opens up both ways, so awesome little purchase. I'm so grateful that we've managed to get this. So come on inside and I'll show you the layout of our van. So this is our little tiny kitchen here. So we've got our Thetford oven and grill. So it comes with 4 burners as well as an electric hot plate right there. We've got obviously the grill area, but we were fortunate to get the van with an oven, so which is really good. So these are our pantry cupboards. So these are for our high use items. So I've got everything set up in tubs here, or plastic containers that I got from the cheap store. It works, everything doesn't go flying, which is fantastic. So this is our coffee, tea cups and making facilities here. We're keeping it simple, everything is in plastic containers, again, just so things don't break. We've also got our overflow cupboard here. So this is where we've got all of our things that we don't use all that often, but also I've got our milk stored behind there. So as for our coffee making facilities, so Cletus uses the pop-up. We found that the electric kettle does suck a lot of juice, so especially when we're off grid. So we use that and it folds down flat. And I've always used a coffee percolator, so that works for us and it's small. And of course my Merlot coffee. So our other 2 cupboards are our general storage. So we have all of our medicine, fire blankets, first aid kits, bug sprays in there, and just a general spot for random things. Now I'll show you guys the setup that we have for our drawers here. So the first drawer, or first cupboard, we've got our toaster, which fits absolutely perfectly down there. Our drying rack is one of those pop top ones. And with our saucepan set, so we've got just a big one and a small one there, but they come with the detachable handle, which makes things really easy. But we've also got our skillet set, which we primarily use when we're cooking outside. So, and of course our dishwashing liquids and things like that in a container again, so they don't go flying. But everything fits perfectly in here, which is purely by chance. So the second drawer, and the way we've set this one up is I've got my tray. This is mainly used when we're actually eating outside. It's just easier to put everything in it and take it out rather than me falling out of the caravan. So we do have a setup of 4 plates and 4 bowls, a foldable colander, my tiny little cutting board. And again, I use that primarily for when we're using the microwave. And again, for knives, forks, spoons, got a few serving spoons there too. This pot we bought from Aldi, so it can be used in the oven. You just need to take the plastic bits off there and obviously not the lid, and just one serving bowl. I did have two, but decided to downsize one because we don't use it all that often. So we've also got all of our barbecue utensils up the back there too. So now our last drawer has got obviously our garbage bin liners, but we've also got our little junk drawer there. That's where our kettle sits, cutting board sits in there, and we've got our wraps and our Ziploc bags. So the appliances that we use for cooking is our air fryer. It's fantastic. We can use it outside too, so because we've got external power out there, but it generally lives on the couch when we're traveling, and when it's not in use. It has not moved, and we've gone over some bumpy roads. When we are off grid, we tend to use the oven. Again, it's all gas and fan forced. We've also got our microwave. So, and because we're only using it for short periods of time, we tend to use this off grid too.
Haha, tricksters, I am in this video. Anyway, it's only for a short period. So what we're going to talk about quickly is heating and cooling of the Caravan while we're on grid, off grid. So we've got the built-in Coolman air conditioner, absolutely brilliant for cooling and heating. We generally only use that when we are plugged in though. It does draw a lot of power. So obviously we're trying to keep the batteries going as long as possible, so we don't use that while we're off grid. When we do need a little bit of airflow through here, we've got the 3 Sirocco fans, as you can see around the van. They're all on remote, which is absolutely fantastic because you can start them all, you can turn them all off, and you can put them on as high as you want. The other thing we use is our diesel heater. So the diesel heater is mounted underneath the couch on this side here. The power or the control panel is up here for it. I won't start it just now, but it only takes a minute or about 3 minutes for it to start up properly, and within about 10 minutes of that we've got a nice warm Caravan. It does not take long to warm up at all. The air vent is down on the floor, so the best part about the diesel heater is when it is freezing cold, you don't want to get out of the bed and stand on a cold floor. The vent being down there warms that floor up just perfect.
So for our clothes storage, we've both got hanging space on either side, but we've also got storage up here for all of our clothes that we fold. And what we've done here is put an extra little shelf up to, again, a little bit more extra storage there. In addition, underneath here, we've actually put some Velcro on our remote. So we've got our fan remotes, our TV remote, and also our diesel heater up there. So ease, makes things easy. So the other little storage bits and pieces that we do have are the paper towel rack. I got this one from Temu, not realizing that you can actually buy them from Kmart. The sponge holder, again, a little Temu purchase there. But I've also got 3M hooks for all of the cross stitches that little cross stitches that I do, just for decorating. The other thing we do have is our drop bear storage pouches. I've got one above the door, but we've also got one just above the couch. But also our 3M hooks for glasses, keys, just so we don't lose them and they're not on the bench. So we have storage underneath the couches. That's what we use to put all of our shoes in, but also any other bits and bobs that we do have. So for our cleaning products, I store them on the bottom of the cupboard over there, all of our toiletries there. But again, as you walk in, you can see all the open storage there. We just use and put things where required.
All right, so I'm back again. So just very quickly before we run out of battery. So our basic camp setup for when we're staying 1 or 2 nights somewhere hasn't changed since the shakeout trip. We've got a table, our King's burner, and our 2 chairs. That's pretty much it. Addition to that, in our storage tunnel boot, we've got a spare table or another table the same as this, and a fishing rod and a couple of other recreational bits of gear in there. In our storage toolbox, we've got our hoses, so our grey water hose, freshwater hose, and a couple of jerry cans. We've permanently fixed Starlink to the front of the van, so we don't have to unpack and pack it up every time. This side of the toolbox is just our gas tanks, and then on this side of the tunnel boot is our fireplace and all the other gear that we need to set up to level out the van and set up for if we're plugging in or not. And that's pretty much our caravan and our setup. So thanks very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed watching Rachel in there. And if you've got any questions, please put them in the comment down below. Other than that, please subscribe, like, share the videos, and we'll see you in the next episode. Cheers.